didn't have anybody at home validating like the content that I would make, or even like my emotional. It was mainly like my emotional standing that was never validated. Like, I would be going through some heinous shit at home, absolutely immoral, unethical, I think. But because my family has like systems in place where you're not really supposed to talk about the toxic things that happen or the things that like affect your mental health, I really was alone for most of it. Even though they said, oh, we care about you, we love you, it's like, okay, but you're still enabling really bad things that are happening to me, and you're not fully validating because you're making excuses for people that like borderline abuse me, or more emotionally and physically. So it's like, you know, like, I could see why y'all think you are such good people, but I just simply disagree. I know it's not sticking on the best, but I'm gonna ignore it. So yeah, I really just had to find my own outlet away from my family where I wouldn't have to worry about what anybody would think about what I'm posting or what I'm not posting, all that good stuff. Oh, I gotta put a door in here. So yeah, I think I'm like rerouting a little bit. Eventually I think I'll start posting on my podcast again. Like, that was my real life passion project. Like, that was really like, I think what really brought life into me. Like, it really breathed life into me, having that podcast and having somewhere to let all my issues out in a way where I wasn't like stepping on anybody's toes, because that's the thing with like emotional abuse, but I was gonna say abusive family systems. Like, you're not really supposed to talk about it because then they can't stay abusive. And even in most family systems, just talking about, just saying the word, or just saying the word abuse is like, abuse? We fed you. And it's like, okay, no, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that my mom didn't pick me up from school, girl. I'm talking about the fact that she would leave me at grandma's house for weekends on end and turn off her phone. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's abusive. Where's my mom? And why are y'all letting her leave? You know, regular people would have called DCF. People who weren't toxic enablers would have been like, bitch, get your fucking kid. Like, kid is abandoned. That was abandonment in a way. And then they say they followed up with, I knew where you are. My mom would follow up, but I knew where you are the whole time. You were with safe people, da 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 da. Okay, but it wasn't you. And you the mom. So you're a failure. I'm not gonna get up and go all the way over there to turn off that ad, so we're just gonna listen to that random guy. I hate ads on my phone, for real. Like, I'm not gonna pay to take them off because I don't give that much of a fuck. But it's irritating for sure. But yeah, I feel like you live and you learn from situations, good or bad. And I feel like mainly what I learned from my family situation is that people do, I think it really taught me that people are going to do whatever they want regardless. People do what's best for them at every cost. Like, if it's at the cost of your health, your well-being, your happiness, people are going to do it because they're not thinking about you. I really had to come to the realization, and I realized it at a really young age. it just never sit right with me because they would keep gaslighting me. It's like, okay, I would accept this sometimes and be like, okay, yeah, you don't give a fuck with me. I can tell by the way you act. You already don't give a fuck. And then they'd follow up with a, oh no, it's just because we had this and it's just, and then they go with the excuses and stuff. And it's like, you don't have to do all that. And then I brought that out into on my like relationships, and I'm sure I came off to the people I was involved in as like extremely avoidant, but I just wasn't into like a discussion about why you act the way you do. I really like, it got to the point where it's like, I don't care. Like, oh my god, that reminds me of this one time I was talking to this guy. It was so not serious. Like, I don't even remember his name type shit. But I was talking to him for a while. We were cool, and I liked him. We went to the park on a date and shit like that. And it was cool. Like, it was casual. And then, like, he all of a sudden posted, I guess, his girlfriend. He was in, like, a whole full-blown relationship. You ever had that happen? Where a nigga just pops out in a whole relationship, like you weren't there the whole time, and you're like, I remember I was laying in bed with my old friend, and I saw that on this page, and we were laying in bed together because we had a sleepover at my house. But anyway, I was just sitting there, I was like, and he was like, I think expecting me to have like this big grand reaction. That told me a lot. Oh my god, that was a life lesson that I didn't know I needed to learn. But it was good. It was a good one. Because it genuinely taught me, like, sometimes men are always, like, not always, sometimes men are just looking for a reaction. Like men will follow a girl on Instagram for a reaction. Men will literally consummate, lay down and fornicate with someone just so you can give them attention. And then they act like women are the ones doing that. But the only reason they think women are doing that is because that's what they're doing. And it's like weird. It's so weird. I always end up talking about relationship stuff here because relationships are a really big part of my life. I'm a Capricorn, so it does say in my birth chart that I don't really give a fuck. I'm like cold and detached. Like, that's what it says. But girl, that is not true. I care a lot. So my sun sign is Capricorn, my moon sign is Sag, and then my rising is Virgo. So I'm really meticulous, for sure. Like, attention to detail is everything. That's why I'm so good when it comes to like aesthetics and like, I think dressing well. I think it has a lot to do with my birth chart too. But my Venus is in Scorpio. In layman's terms, I just remembered that word existed today. In layman's terms, I love, because Venus is the planet of love, I love like a Scorpio, which is incredibly intense. If you ever met a Scorpio, they're intense. They're intense. They got sharp eyes, super serious, unless they have like a balance of something else to lighten that up in their chart. If they don't, it's intense over there. And by over there, I mean over here in my heart space. Like, I'm so passionate, but that's why I have like that tatted on me. Oh, I don't like where that one landed. I have it tatted on me, like, do all things in love, because I really do feel passionately about, like, I do everything in love because I have that Scorpio in my heart. Like, I'm really built like that. I love so deeply and so passionately, and then it's carried, it's inflamed by this sense of like justice and stuff like that. I know justice is like usually considered a Librian trait, but I feel like Capricorns have a strong sense of justice as well, because it's like order, like law and order type shit. So I always found that I got along really well with Libras. I love me a little Libra because I love love. I adore being around Libras. They're ruled by the planet of beauty. I love beauty stuff. The material. No, for real, like I like doing makeup and stuff like that, so I'm pretty sure I have maybe some Libra in my chart. I know my midheaven's in Taurus, which is also incredibly on brand for me. Midheaven, they say, is like literally what the word sounds like the middle of heaven, like what you would perceive or where you would find your equilibrium in life. So in order to find my equilibrium, I would have to do Taurus-like activities. Like, they're really big on sleeping. I always hear that about Tauruses, like they're always ready to go to sleep somewhere. And they're very grounded, even like rigid. I don't think they're the bull. I think that Aries is the bull. But they give like bull energy to me, Tauruses, if they're not the bull. They give very much bull. Hold on, let me get the next video.